Ever wondered if devouring a steak makes you more likely to vote Republican? Sounds ridiculous, right? Well, hold on to your ribeyes, folks, because we're about to dive into the meaty side of politics. In the realm of politics, we've seen some strange correlations, but one of the most intriguing and dare we say juicy is the connection between one's dietary preferences and their political leanings. Yes, you heard it right, folks. What's on your plate may just hint at what's on your ballot. Now, it's no secret that conservatives are often painted as the meat-loving, BBQ-flipping, steak-devouring type. Just picture it. A family gathering around the grill, steak sizzling, and amidst the wafting aroma of grilled meat, the conversation naturally veers towards tax cuts and limited government. It's almost as if the carnivorous feast is a catalyst for conservative chatter. But is there any truth to this meaty stereotype? Could your love for a good ribeye actually lean you towards the right side of the political spectrum? Anecdotal evidence seems to suggest a pattern. In a world where we're increasingly conscious of our dietary choices, it's not outlandish to think that our food preferences could reflect our values, and by extension our politics. After all, if you're the kind of person who relishes a juicy steak, chances are you value tradition, personal freedom, and perhaps have a live and let live attitude. All principles often associated with conservative ideologies. But before we get carried away, let's not forget that correlation doesn't imply causation. Just because Uncle Bob grills a mean steak and votes Republican doesn't mean one causes the other. But it does make for an interesting theory and a good conversation starter at your next family BBQ. So is there really a meaty side to politics? The jury's still out on that one. But one thing's for sure. In the world of politics, the personal is always political, and that includes our plates. So, next time you're at a BBQ, remember, your choice of burger could be a political statement. On the flip side, ever noticed how many vegans seem to lean towards the Democratic side? Is it the tofu talking, or is there something more to it? Well, let's slice this salad of thought open. At first glance, you might think, what does my plate of greens have to do with my political leanings? But if you look closer, you'll find that the principles of veganism echo many of the values that progressives hold dear. Take, for instance, environmental protection. Vegans believe they, by virtue of their diet, reduce their carbon footprint. This aligns neatly with the Democratic Party's commitment to combating climate change and promoting sustainable practices. It's easy to see why someone who opts for a tofu scramble over a bacon omelet might also favor policies that protect Mother Earth. Then, there's the issue of animal rights. Vegans choose to abstain from animal products out of respect for sentient beings. This empathy for the voiceless and vulnerable is a value that many Democrats resonate with as they advocate for social justice and equality. And let's not forget the health aspect. Vegans often opt for this lifestyle to promote better health and well-being. This mirrors the Democratic emphasis on healthcare reform and the belief that everyone deserves access to quality healthcare. Now let's add a dash of humor to this green mix. Picture this, a vegan potluck, where the most heated debates aren't about whether the lentil loaf is too dry, but about the latest political happenings. Between bites of quinoa salad and sips of almond milk, discussions about renewable energy and healthcare reform abound. And if someone dares to bring up the subject of dairy, well, let's just say it's not just the almond milk that's going to be frothy. So next time you're at a vegan gathering, listen in. You might find that the talk around the table isn't just about the virtues of nutritional yeast. It's a blend of personal beliefs, environmental consciousness, and yes, politics. So if you're sipping on a green smoothie, you might just be sipping on some democratic values too. Now what about those folks chowing down on the standard American diet? You know, the one with all the processed food and sugar. Well, we've got some bad news for them. If you're a fan of the standard American diet, you're probably well acquainted with the likes of burgers, fries, and donuts. And sure, they might taste great, but here's a fun fact. They're about as beneficial to your health as a lead parachute. But it's not just your physical health that's taking a hit. We're going to take a wild leap and suggest that this diet could be muddying your political waters too. Picture this. It's election day. You're standing in line at the polling station, a burger in one hand and a soda in the other, trying to remember if the candidate you want to vote for is the one who promised free cheeseburgers on Fridays. As you step up to cast your vote, you squint at the ballot, your mind addled by sugar highs and the grease coursing through your veins. And then it happens. You see a familiar name, Ronald McDonald. You chuckle, shake your head, and then you tick the box. Yes, you've just voted for a fast food mascot, but can you really be blamed? After all, he's been there for you, at every late-night drive-through run, every hungover brunch, every birthday party since you were 5. He understands you. He gets you. Who better to run the country? Now, I'm not saying that everyone who enjoys a good old American cheeseburger is politically clueless, but when your diet consists mainly of food that's been processed beyond recognition, it's hard to think straight, let alone make informed political decisions. So remember folks, what you eat might just be shaping your political views, but whatever your diet, let's hope it's not the standard American one, or you might just end up voting for Ronald McDonald. So, carnivore or vegan, Republican or Democrat, what's the takeaway from all this dietary debate? Well, it seems like our plates might be more political than we thought. Who knew that sinking your teeth into a juicy steak might align you more with the right, while munching on a kale salad could swing you to the left? Of course, it's all a bit tongue-in-cheek. Your diet, like your politics, is a personal choice, and one doesn't necessarily dictate the other. Variety, as they say, is the spice of life. That said, it's an interesting concept to chew on. The idea that what we eat could reflect or even influence our political leanings. But let's not forget, it's our ability to think critically and independently that truly shapes our worldviews. And remember, no matter your diet, exercise your right to vote and your right to dessert. After all, we can all agree on the importance of a good piece of pie.